What goes on, guys? We're here again with yet another Super 7 video. I can't believe how many Super 7 videos I'm doing recently, but today we're going to be taking a look at their brand new line of Animaniacs figures. Now, I was able to pick all these up for 20 bucks a piece. So, I got all of them for 100 bucks essentially, and that's amazing. Unfortunately, a store that I really like is going out of business, so I was able to he's getting rid of everything, liquidating things, and I was able to get all of them for 100 bucks. And considering that would only be 2 of them for 100 regular price, I'm very, very happy. So, I'm not the biggest Animaniacs fan. I've seen a bunch of it, but it's whatever to me. But I like having different characters on my shelf. Now, Pinky and the Brain, I do know a little bit more about. I had the Funko Pops when they had them. Again, not the hugest Pinky and the Brain fan ever, but I really do like them. But I just really couldn't pass them up for 20 bucks a piece. So today I thought I'd make a video and throw them all together for you. Let's take a look at the packaging here. So taking a look at Yakko's box, I'm pretty sure they're all going to be the same box in terms of like outside design. So it's just kind of a line, glittery, metallic or whatever you want to call it, reflective. And then Yakko is in here looking pretty awesome already. Really like the way that that looks. And then on the back, no read-up or anything. So it's just a picture of Yakko himself, which is kind of interesting, but not the biggest thing in the world. Then here is Wakko. Again, the outside of the box is the same, but she's got a little bit of a different, or he's got a little bit of a different design on the back, just like the orange with the blue spots. And to round out the Animaniacs themselves, here is Dot. She looks great. I like her box the best with the different colors on there. I think it looks pretty damn cool. And then after these guys, of course, we're going to be taking a look at Pinky. Looking pretty good. Again, you just get the back. Looking like a doofus that he is, but I like the different, each one of them has like different patterns on the box, but you can't have Pinky without the brain. And his box is the same pattern as Pinky's, but it's just like a lot bigger. Like that box is huge, but enough of boxes. I have boxes all over the place right now, so without further ado, let's go ahead and pop these guys open, starting with the Animaniacs themselves. So I got everything out of the package like half an hour later. I'm going to be honest with you guys, there is a lot to go over in this video. The amount of stuff on my desk right now is crazy. So if I'm running through things relatively quickly, I'm sorry. But in an effort to not make this video like 3 hours long, I'm going to be running through things relatively quickly. So like I said, we are going to start with the Animaniacs themselves. Starting off with Dot. We'll do, actually, let's do Wakko first, because I got his stuff over here. So here is Wakko. I think that the aesthetic on these is pretty much perfect. I mean, again, I'm not the biggest Animaniacs fan, but for 20 bucks a piece, I couldn't pass it up, because even if they were shit, I probably just could have sold them, to be honest. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hold on to them. I think they look great. Now, there is like minor paint scuffs on everything, on all the white, especially like on the molded white. I don't know why. I might get some acetone and try to clear that off a little bit. But overall, I think that they're very clean and they look very nice. So you get his baseball cap flipped backwards. I love the sculpt of the face. It looks very good. You get a little bit of something on his tongue. He has a little hoodie. His hands look great. He's got a bunch of hands, so we'll show them off in a second. Then his feet, and then his longer tail. So I think it looks great. I think the aesthetic is perfect on these. It really makes me wish that Super 7 would get different licenses, like something like Gravity Falls. I've wanted Gravity Falls for a while, and while I don't really like Super 7, they've been turning around recently, but I'm not the hugest fan of Super 7 still. I think that this aesthetic works perfect for them. I think Dipper Pines, this size, right there, and then everybody else, oh man, it would be so awesome. So would really like that, but I think that Super 7 really nailed the aesthetic on these. Now, I'm going to be doing articulation and accessories all in for each one of them. So let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories first. He does come with a slew of different hands. So you're going to get 2 closed gripped hands. Well, this one's like a tube for holding a specific item. Then you're going to get the cartoon open hands. I love these. You get the ones that are on them. You get wider gripping hands for other accessories. And then you get a right pointing finger hand. So you get a good bevy of hands. And then you do get an interchangeable tail. So the tail's just on a ball joint. This one's like a zigzag one. I think that's a nice alternate piece. Pops out very easily. And then you get the stick of dynamite, the TNT. Looks nice. I like the clearish, translucent plastic for the effect with the yellow. Looks very nice. I really like that. He can hold that well. He does come with a violin and a bow. Looks great. I like it. I like the aesthetic on there. I think the string could have been done a little bit better because it's like kind of ugly, but honestly, I think it looks fine. And then you get a mallet. You gotta get it. It's a cartoon character. You have to have a mallet. And then probably one of the biggest accessories I've ever gotten. You get the chalkboard or like the rotating board for school with the American flag. So this is the country one. I know Yakko sings the country song. I don't know it, so I'm not gonna even try, but I really do like that everything's painted on here. It is a little loose, and for some reason the top is heavier than the bottom, so like it kind of like likes to lean, but it's not the end of the world. It'll hold. I think that looks awesome. It's very cleanly applied. It's huge. I mean, like, it's freaking huge. So I like that a lot. And then finally, you get an alternate head. You get him with a gladiator helmet. Again, I don't know enough about Animaniacs to know what this is about. Looks good enough. The top looks a little weird, but it's fine. And then the ears do move on this one too. So that's pretty cool. I like his facial expression. I think it would have been cool if the helmet was removable and the hat was removable so you could like alternate their faces, but as far as I know, it does not work like that. So this is the alternate head. Looks nice. Now, as far as Wakko's articulation, you do get a ball joint on each of the ears. I love that. That is awesome. So they'll rotate. They can go up, down, all different space directions. Gives great facial expressions. I love that. His head is hollow, which is really weird, but you get a little bit of a ball joint. You get a ball joint, so you get a little bit of pivot, rotation. He doesn't look up and down very much. It'll pop off, but it's also because he has a sweater, so it's a little bit different. The hinge on the shoulder goes up that far. It'll go rotate back and forth. You do get a single jointed swiveling elbow. It's not going to rotate. You don't really get like a bicep swivel, and then the wrist, all of them swivel and hinge. You get like a ball joint, I guess, kind of in where the body meets the sweater, but it's really just going to give you a rotation. It's not really going to do much at all. So nothing crazy there. You get a ball joint for the tail. Like I said, you can pop this out and plug in the other one. Just be careful you don't want to strip the peg on the tail. That would kind of suck. So then the hips, they're going to go outwards that far. Down, heel kick forward, back. Little bit of thigh rotation up there. Single jointed knee. Again, just kind of be careful with where you're pulling on stuff. And that knee will rotate. And then you just get a hinge swivel at the ankle. So no pivot, which kind of sucks. But with the design of these characters, since they do have big feet, they do stand easily. And it would have been ugly to put in a hinge and swivel or like a traditional ankle pivot on there. So yeah, I think for what you're getting here, I really do think that they did as best as they could with a character like this. So very well done on Super 7's part. Next, let's take a look at Yakko. Now, Yakko is my favorite. I think he's got the funniest design. I also do like his accessories the most. So I really like this one because he's got better articulation. But I really like the facial expression. It looks great. This is like Cousin Stanley. Like if this was SpongeBob, this is Cousin Stanley. That's how I picture it. Super 7, make a Cousin Stanley. But looks really, really cool. You get like the hands. Pretty much the same thing. I'm pretty sure all these hands are interchangeable with each other. So if... Actually, I think his might be a little bit smaller, actually. So his Yakko's are bigger than Wakko's, but it still works. But I like the little pants, the khakis with the belt buckle. Looks great on there. And then the feet are pretty much the same. It's all just the same thing, just stretched a little bit. So it looks good. I mean, it is what it's supposed to. I like the matte finish on things. The head sculpt is nice. The red line for the mouth is painted good. It looks pretty damn awesome. So for his accessories, again, there's so much to go over here. You get the same board. So now I have two of these. I don't know where I'm going to store them. I have to clear out another drawer. I have an idea. But this one is the country song. Now everybody's like, I don't know it. I could probably name every country on this map, but not in the song form. And then, of course, you get the stick that he uses to point to it. Just a little bit of paint on there. And then all the same paint that is on Wakko's is on here. So it looks great. This one doesn't really have the issue of it being loose. This one's actually pretty good. I was hoping that these would actually like tighten it, but it doesn't. But it looks good. Works for me. And then you get a couple of different hands. I don't think you get as much as Wakko, but you do get the open hands. You got to get the cartoon glove hands. You get the open grip hands, and then you get the cupped grip hand. So really don't know what this one's for because, oh, I guess it's for the baton. Yeah. Yeah, you can hold the baton in that one. But you do get the same stick of dynamite that came with Wakko. Looks good. And then you get the same alternate tail. I don't know if they're the same size. I guess his is a little bit bigger, but not by much. But you do get the alternate zigzag tail. You get the bag of fun. Ooh, you get the sack of fun. Looks pretty cool. I mean, it's not much to it. And then you do get the alternate head so that you can properly sing the continent country song with the graduation cap on it. I like this a lot. This is a very good alternate head. Really makes for a fun addition to this figure. And the paint on the tassel looks great. Graduation cap looks nice. I really like this. I think that that's a really good set of accessories. I mean, Super 7 always kills it with accessories. Now, as far as articulation goes, you do get the ball joints on each of the ears. All of them do. Except Dot. Actually, Dot does not, but whatever. His ball joint's going to work better because he's got more range on his neck to do so. So you can look up, down, pivot side to side, and rotate. You do get a hinge and swivel at the shoulder, so they go up, and then they'll rotate all around. You get a single jointed elbow that will rotate, and then the wrist swivel and hinge. You do get a ball joint at the waist. This works a lot better than Wakko's. So it is a little loose, unfortunately. I might pop them apart, put a piece of paper in there, and put it back on, but it's not the end of the world. The hips go outwards, they go down, he'll kick forward, back, and then a little bit of rotation, but nothing crazy, and then a hinge and swivel at the knee. Yeah, it's really tight for some reason. Ball joint at the tail, and then the hinge and swivel at the ankles, but since he's got the pants, it's really not going to do much. Again, I think the articulation is as good as they could make it. I really don't need crazy articulation from these kinds of characters. I think the aesthetic is what cartoons really go off of, where somebody like Spider-Man goes off of posability. So in that regard, I really think Super 7 killed it with this. So I think this one's a little bit better than Wakko and Dot, but yeah, I really like them. Then finally, let's take a look at the little girl, Dot. She's got a huge smudge on my favorite face, which is so annoying, but I'm going to see if I can get that off. The flower looks good on her ears. Like I said, this is not articulated. I don't know why they didn't make it a ball joint. I don't really see why they couldn't. Oh, I guess because if you rotated the flower, it doesn't look good, but it's not that big a deal. I don't really care. And then there's not much to talk about. I mean, the gloves look good. The feet look good. The dress looks good. It's, you know, exactly what you'd expect. I think the face paint looks nice on her. The red line's pretty clean. Again, I just wish that that wasn't there. The facial expression looks good. Yeah, there's really not much to talk about here. But she does come with a bunch of stuff, as always. I'm trying to keep all the accessories organized because, like I said, there's so much stuff on my desk right now. So you get a bunch of different hands. Hers are definitely the smallest, so I guess they're not interchangeable with all of them. So you do get a pair of wide open hands. She comes with a pair of fist hands. I would have liked if all of them came with fist hands, but they do not. You get a gripping hand, open gripping hand, and then you get two hands just holding things. So this one has a butterfly on it, and this one's holding a rose. I really like that. They look really nice. The rose and the butterfly look very nice, and they don't come off, so that's pretty cool. You get an alternate tail. Of course, you got to get the zigzag tail. You get the stick of dynamite. Looks pretty good. Same thing as the other, as her brothers. And then you get two alternate heads. You get just a neutral face for her. Looks fine. I'll probably use the one that's on her. And then you get like the lovey-dovey eyes. Looks very good. I think it would have been cool if they did the thing where her ears made the heart. No, I've seen that. So that would have been cool to get that. But I think the face paint is clean on both of these. I said I just kind of wish that that one didn't have it. And then the final thing you get is a little inflatable ducky thing. So it's hollow and kind of squishy. The head rotates just, I guess, to keep it in the box better. I love this. This is great. And it does, if you lift up her arms, you can kind of like spread it enough to pop it in there and put it on. That looks great. I really, really like that. This is a really cool accessory. The paint's good, skishy, love it. Finally, let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation. So her ball joint works really good on her head. You get great pivot, which is good for her. Head goes up, down, rotate. Hinge and swivel shoulders, they go up, they go down, they rotate. Single jointed elbow, that really doesn't do much. It'll just hinge about there and then swivel, and then the wrists swivel and hinge. The torso really is just a swivel. There technically is a ball joint in there, but it's not going to do anything. It's just a swivel, and then you do get a pivot at the tail. The hips, hers will go out pretty far. They'll go out about that far. They'll go down. She'll kick forward, back, a little bit of rotation. Single jointed knee, that gets further than I expected, and it does rotate. And then the ankle hinges and swivels. So again, oddly enough, her articulation's not bad neither. It definitely goes Yakko, Dot, and Wakko in terms of articulation. But yeah, I think she looks great. She moves all the way that she needs to, and I can't imagine any other accessories you'd want from these. So very well done on Super 7's end. Okay, now to get into the figures that I was really excited for, Pinky and the Brain. And as their name title suggests, we'll do Pinky first. Man, this looks great. Now, this is in no terms of scalature with everything else in my collection. These guys, you could argue that they are, but this guy, you know, he's supposed to be tiny. It's not in scale, but it was too good of a deal to pass up. And man, he looks great. The head sculpt on this looks great. He looks stupid as he should. The paint is a lot cleaner on this. The yellow line or the red line in the mouth looks great. And then you get down into the body, and it looks really good. I like that the skin parts are a little bit like of a glossier plastic. There is one thing that I hate about this, though. The joint, they didn't paint the inside. I don't know if you can see like how the paint variation is different. That bugs me because I really don't think that this joint was necessary to begin with, because it doesn't really do much at all. And then if you're not going to do it correctly, then don't do it, because it's loose and it only arcs back. It just, I really don't get what the point of this was, to be honest. Not a big fan of that. But the feet look good. The tail is nice. I really like it. I think he looks great. There's not much paint to talk about, like barely any paint at all. The mouth, it's just the mouth, the nose, and the eyes. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 paint apps on this thing. I guess 5, because I guess the whole body's painted white. But yeah, not much to talk about in terms of paint, but it looks fantastic. Now, other than that thing on the diaphragm joint. But he does also come with a bunch of stuff. Man, there's a lot of stuff over here. So let's see what we got over here. We got a bunch of hands. So first off, you'll get flat hands. You'll get like style pose hands. I love these. I'm probably going to put these ones on them. Looks great. You get grip hands. Well, I guess this one's more... Yeah, no, it's a grip hand, but like a thumb up. This is a C-cup grip hand. And then this one's kind of like a thumbs up grip hand as well for the other side. And then you get one with a pencil marker in there. It looks really nice. You do get his notebook for the pencil thing. Pencil hand. Looks really good. Doesn't open or anything, but you do get the notebook. You get a grapnel gun. Looks good. I like the paint on there. You get the gray, the dark gray, the pink, and then the maroon. Looks very good. You get a picture of this horse. Now, again, I don't know much about it, so I don't know who this is. If you know what this is, let me know in the comments. But it looks good. Black and white. I like it. He can hold... That's what the thumbs up grippy hand is for. This goes in his hand, I believe. Maybe I'm stupid. I would assume this goes in his hand. I don't know. Maybe it's not supposed to, because it's really not going in there. I mean, this one does. I don't know. It definitely does, but I guess it just needs both hands to balance it. But you get that. You get an Erlenmeyer flask with a round bottom flask attached with the hose. Looks really, really nice. Very clear plastic. Looks good. You know, the Brain's always doing experiments, and Pinky's always around. So, looks really nice. I like that a lot. You get the round bottom flask with the Bunsen burner. I guess it's not... I guess it could be a Bunsen burner, but I love the flames on there. It looks really good with the stand in there. You get like the plastic with the paint that makes it look like liquids in there. I love this. This is really, really nice. Then you get this big thing, which is just a basic light bulb accessory. None of the buttons work, but there's a little bit of paint on there. It looks nice. The clear plastic for the bulb looks great. The wires and the cathodes, oh man, it looks awesome. And it's big too. I mean, it's about up to his head. I don't know if this is from a specific episode or a specific moment. Please let me know if it is. Would love to know what this is, but it looks great. And it's a big accessory for a big figure. And then finally, you get 2 alternate heads. You get the wacky happy head. This looks fantastic. Open mouth, great paint, love it. And then you get like the just got zapped, just got bonked on the head with the tongue out and the eyes. It looks really, really great. It's fantastic. So great alternate heads. A huge bevy of accessories. It's just nuts how much they pack into this box here. And then last but not least, let's go ahead and look at his articulation. So the head goes up, down, pivot side to side, rotate, goes all around. I mean, he's really got nothing getting in the way. He can look up as far as he needs to, all that good stuff. Shoulder goes out, goes down, it rotates 360, single jointed elbow, that swivels, and then the wrist swivel and hinge. You do get... You get a ball joint in there. Again, I hate it. It just rotates and arches back and forth. I don't really think that it was necessary, and it can't even hold the weight of them, so it's kind of dumb. It's not awful, but it's just really stupid. You get a ball joint at the tail. Perfect. It would have been awesome if the tail was bendy, but it's kind of flat on this side, which I don't really like because it's really just meant to be in this position. You can do whatever you want with it. I just don't really think they needed to flatten it. The hips go out... Oh, that's pretty far. They'll go out that far. They go down. He'll kick forward. Also very far. Wow, was not expecting that. And then single jointed knee, that rotates. And then the ankle goes up, down, and rotates as well. So, you know, pretty much as good as articulation as you would need. A bendy wire in the tail would have been nice. And I think that they should have done that in substitution of this diaphragm joint. It really doesn't do much. I don't think that it was necessary. But, you know, maybe that's just me. But, yeah, I think that this is a pretty damn perfect figure for what it's supposed to be. And finally, probably my favorite figure out of the set, we have the brain. Look at this head sculpt. I mean, yeah, damn, bro's got a lot on his mind. That's insane. That is a huge-ass head sculpt. I think he holds the record for the biggest head in my collection. This dude's nuts. I mean, his head's almost as big as Galactus's. I love it. The sculpt is great. The paint in the ears looks good. You get the eyes and the nose and the little mouth line. Looks fantastic. His little chubby body looks great. And then you get the big zigzag lightning tail. It looks great. Again, there's not much paint. All the same colors as Pinky, just in his shape. But, man, that head sculpt is phenomenal. It's huge. Like, I mean, like, that's next to my fist. Like, that's a big head. Looks great. He comes with a shit ton of accessories, too. So we'll go. It's very heavy, too. Very, very heavy. So first off, yeah, his plans to destroy the world. It's really just a blueprint. There's nothing crazy there. Just wanted to get that out of the way. You do get a slew of other hands. So you get a pair of fist hands for him. Those little hands. You get a little pair of fist hands. You get a pair of closed grip hands, like smaller C-cup grip hands. Open grip hands, so this one's for a specific thing, this one's for a specific thing, and then you get like the clenchy like science hand. I love that. I wish we got 2 of these, but I don't think we do. Then you get a keychain of the world, like a globe. This is pretty cool. It's an actual keychain, so if you want to put this on something, you definitely can. I'm not going to because I don't want it to break, but it's a real chain, real keychain. Looks nice. The earth is painted pretty good. Globe looks nice. I like it. And then you get a slew of different science accessories. So you get a little baton, like the stir. I'm assuming that this is what this is. It looks cool. I like it. You get a paper clip. Obviously, it's to scale with him, so it's a big paper clip for us. That's what this one hand is for specifically, is to hold the paper clip. I like it, so gripping specific hands. I just kind of wish they did what they did with Dot. Just left it in his hand. And then you get an oblong flask and then a round bottom flask. They look great, purple and yellow, just paint on the inside, make it look like liquid. Looks nice. And then you get another Erlenmeyer, again, to scale with him. Looks good. Then you get 2 enormous accessories, and this is why his box was so big. The first off, you get an alternate head. Look at that freaking head. That is nuts. That is so well done. The way they plugged in the face to match the sculpt looks fantastic. Definitely using this head. I love this. This is a great head. The sculpt is amazing. Again, it's heavy. Looks very, very awesome. But I think the best accessory is the magnet. This is amazing. This is the magnet I believe that he uses to pull the Earth toward, or the moon or something like that. But look at all the diodes, and man, the lever does move too. This thing's huge. It's bigger than him. It's so well done. The paint on there looks great. It does rotate. You just got to make sure that the wires don't cross up on each other. But they're hoses, so they're rubbery. man, this is really, really well done. A hinge would have been nice on this too, but it's not really needed. I think that this is awesome. I have no idea where I'm going to store this for now, but this looks great. Amazing set of accessories. Really, really awesome. But let's go ahead, take a look at this big-ass head fella. His articulation. The ball joint works good. You get pivot side to side. Rotate, he'll look up, he'll look down, all around. So it's the same for both heads. The shoulder goes up. Let me see if I can. Shoulder goes up, down, rotate 360, single jointed elbow that does rotate, and then the wrist swivel and hinge. Now, I don't know why they could give hinges to these guys, but they couldn't give it to SpongeBob. I think Pinky's arms are thinner. Like, the Animaniacs arms are thinner than SpongeBob's. I don't get it. But, like I said, the wrist swivel and hinge. You do get that stupid joint in here with him, too. Really does nothing. I don't really feel like this joint's necessary. It's really just going to swivel. The hips are going to go out that far. They go down. He'll swivel forward, swivel back. And then you're just going to get a rotation and a hinge at the foot. He does have trouble standing just because his legs are so pinched in that... and his head's so heavy that his feet are both never really touching the ground at the same time, which is kind of annoying. And then you get a ball joint at the tail. But it's not the end of the world. So you can kind of like work with it. But it really, he does have a little bit of trouble standing. But he's still my favorite out of the set. Now, in terms of scaling, I would say that the Animaniacs, you could argue, are fine. I mean, they should be a little bit smaller for 6 and 7 inch scale figures, but I don't think that they're awful. But obviously, Pinky and the Brain is not going to be to scale. I don't really care at this point. I think they just look great. So here they are next to Kong and 7 inch or 6 inch Jazzwares Fortnite Series Peely. I'm not going to be doing scaling with all of the other figures. You can kind of just reference them from other ones. I took the tallest Animaniac and the shortest of the 2 mice, but there's them with Darwin and Batman, and then you do get the zombie Captain America. So yeah, I would definitely say the Animaniacs need to be a lot smaller. Maybe, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. They don't bother me. He bothers me a little bit. I wish he was accessories with them, save me a little bit of money. But again, what was going to save me $40 for both of them? So I think that they turned out great. So you guys are probably wondering, yo, Ant, what are your final thoughts on these set of figures? And I gotta say, they're pretty damn awesome. Now, again, I've been on record saying I'm not the biggest Super 7 fan, but I've come around and I've seen them in new light. And I gotta say that I really, really like these. And I'm not even just saying that because I got them for 20 bucks a piece. I think even if I paid full price, I'd be happy with them. Not as happy because, again, I'm not the biggest fan of them. And if they weren't the price that I paid them for, I wouldn't have got them. But I still really do like them. So I think you do get a lot for your money. I mean, again, I cannot express how much stuff is on my desk right now. I don't want to take off my phone. I'm going to try to finish this up real quick. But I really, really like them. So at a price point of $55 to $60 a piece, I still can't go higher than a 7 just because that's a hard pill to swallow for a domestic company. But, you know, at 20 bucks, I'm going to give them each like a 9 out of 10. I really, really do like them. So I think they look perfect. They move all right, and they come with probably some of the best accessories you'll ever get. So with that being said, I believe that's all I got for today. So if you have not already, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I post a lot over there, and I have a lot of fun, so I'm sure you all will too. But as always, let me know. You copping? See you guys in the next one. Peace.